Hello, welcome to Timeless Conversations, a channel where we talk about life and adulting,
The ups
the downs,
and
everything in between. My name is Sharon.
My name is Aisha.
And my name is Robina. If you're new here, start by clicking the subscribe button so that you join the family that we are building here. It helps us to grow, but it also supports our content,
Yes.
Today, we are going to talk about female friendships. Female friendships are very, very important. And we're only talking about female friendships because that's who we are.
Yes.
That's what we know how to do, right? And also the dynamics are very, very different. How you relate with a male, like a male to male, is different from how a female relates to a female.
Mhm.
We are a bit more emotional. We are a bit, like we invest, I believe, more, into our friendships. So we are going to talk about the dynamics, the importance of having female friendships, but also how to cultivate and have meaningful and quality relationships with your friends. Yeah, so ladies, please share some of the very good things about your female friendships and how it is significant for you.
I think one of the most important things that as ladies we get to enjoy from the sisterhood that we have, the girl tribe, is the emotional support that we are able to give each other. Once your friends are able to have that openness to share and communicate, it just creates this space where you feel safe, that you can share even some of your deepest hearts. Guy broke your heart, you can go talk to them and they give you a shoulder to cry on. Or maybe if you're having a challenge at work, like that emotional support that friends give, it's one of the things that I love the most about the female friendships I have. Yeah.
They are always also available for you to rest. They're always there to allow you to talk to them and listen to you.
Yeah.
And also give you, how to feel. They give you tips on how to feel better.
Yeah.
I like that ranting bit because I feel like the male friendships, when you talk to them about things, they are mature about. I don't want maturity every time. Like, I want to come and rant and tell you my boss is crap. And then you tell
And you
me,
agree with me.
Exactly. Like we just agree that bosses are sometimes crappy and it's okay. Like for that time.
Yeah.
And then I also like that these are safe spaces where you're not going to be judged.
Yeah.
And because these people get you, they relate to the things that you've been through. They also understand that at a certain point there is vulnerability.
Yeah.
I mean, it's biologically proven that women go through that phase of, where your hormones are really raging. So those friendships
Yeah.
are to be cultivated and to be maintained, because a male friend will not relate to something.
Yes.
Yeah. How about, like there will be times where you just don't want to be reasonable. You want to be unreasonable.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want logic.
You just want someone to understand
Yes.
you in the space that you're in at that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the emotional support that I need.
That's lovely. So I watched a video there was a video going around about some old women who are living in a community. Like they all bought houses in the same community and they had so many activities that they would do. They were all above like the retirement age, but they were all very strong women. So they would do like activities of jumping rope. They would play like games, basketball, ones. And in this video, they were all in uniform. It was so beautiful. They had like, what are those things called that you play with? Those were rings. They were all twisting.
The hula hoops.
Yes, the hula hoops. They were having so much fun. And for me, I thought this is so beautiful. Like imagine you retire and you can still do all these lovely things together.
Yeah.
It's like working out together. It's like doing all these beautiful things that excite you together with your friends. So I think female friendships, all friendships generally, contribute to longevity. Like you can live a longer life because you're happier, you are a holistic, generally whole person. Yeah.
I actually also watched a documentary on Netflix. It's called Live to 100. And it was about an investigation that they did in some places that they call the blue zones. So the blue zones is where those people who live up to 100 live. And in one of the episodes, there were some ladies. One of them was talking about how when she retired in 1983, exactly. She retired in 1983, and after she retired, I think she felt like she was so bored at home. She first tried walking around her compound. She would move from her neighbor's house up to her home, and she felt like still she wasn't like being fulfilled enough. So she decided to start like a group with some other women in the village who were in a similar position with her. And it's similar to what we call, the Vivinas we have here in Uganda. Yeah. So they started that kind of group and Nigina style. Circles, regardless of the name you call them. So anyway, they started that group and they would meet, just sing, collect some money, of course. But I think the main thing that they were enjoying from that was the fact that they were able to meet together, sing, play the Abu drums. In the documentary, they showed when they were playing the Abu small drums. But it's just the fact that imagine from 1983 and right now most of them were like in their 80s, 90s. So yeah, it really helps to contribute to, living a long life. Yeah.
That kind of rings a bell actually, because we had a group like that. The beauty is, you don't have to wait until you aged to form a girl tribe.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we were starting our 20s, someone came up with a very, very brilliant idea.
Very beautiful.
Bambi, she collected us. All of us didn't know each other. We all came from different circles of life and came together. We were about 20-ish. And all of us, the requirement was we were between 20 and 25, was it?
There were outliers. I was not.
Yeah, so
that's how we met.
Yes, that's how Robin and I actually met. And it was beautiful because I remember how I always looked forward to meeting the girls, the things that we did, the connections, the lasting connections we made, because all of us came from different angles of life. Some were mothers already, others were just starting out in career. We, people were out there achieving great things.
And very young age.
Yes,
wow.
And they were building us to, have the inspiration. Like, you just know, some of us were winning fellowships, others were going out of the country, winning scholarships, getting big jobs. The person that brought us together was holding a very big position. We're talking about someone who was a head of department. At that time, we were in our early 20s, a head of department in a corporate organization. Actually, I won't mention because it's really a big security thing. But just know we had someone to draw inspiration from. And it was such a cool thing. You would just give someone a call and they would get you somewhere. I just feel like these are things that we can still do.
Exactly,
at this early age of our life.
And grow with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you grow, you're building each other.
Exactly.
Counting on someone who has been there before you. You're not starting afresh. You're not going to be because some of us actually are firstborns. So you're more of a guinea pig in the family. So you don't have any.
You don't have anyone to look up.
Yes.
To. Yeah.
And given this space, this safe space of winning ladies.
Yeah.
No, man. I love that group.
I did love it too. Actually, for me, they introduced me to so many things about life that I had no, where I come from, I had no idea about those things. For example, they introduced feminism in a different aspect.
Yeah.
I didn't know what feminism really, really meant in depth. I just knew that those are people who say men are dogs. And that is it. And yet it's not the case. So I went back and read and dug deep about the different waves of feminism and all that stuff. So female friendships can actually teach you quite a lot. Yeah. So, but I also remember that we did a lot of, we had activities we had planned to do. We actually did activities that actually empower the community. It was such a beautiful thing. Find your tribe, ladies.
Yeah.
Ladies that are watching, find your tribe.
Yeah, I mean, and see, that's really the importance of having your girlfriends, because even in activities like you were saying, you'd find things to do that give you meaning.
Yes.
But even things that are fun, I mean, just meeting with your friends and having a laugh. You guys, laughter reduces stress.
Yeah.
So friends are really important to help you reduce your stress. I mean, after a long day at work, maybe like on a Friday, go meet up your girls, have even a cup of coffee, have a glass of juice, glass of wine, whatever fits your fancy, yeah? But it's always really good to find time to spend time with your girls because it helps you to reduce stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that bit because for me, what I loved most about Circle of Love, we didn't need romantic relationships to go on a date.
Yes.
You didn't need to have a date with a man to feel like, oh, today I dressed up nice. I got picked up to go out and have fun on a date. And for me, if that was the way to not suffer in a romantic relationship, because I know a lot of girls actually who are stuck in relationships because of these small things of dates, of going for bungee.
Yeah.
Yet you could actually have these things with your small circle of girls. Like your girl tribe will look out for you. So you don't have to withstand disrespect.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But also for me, I love female friendships, even at the workplace, because of the empowerment that comes with it. You see, it's a societal narrative that men look out for each other more than women do. But it's wrong. Because for someone like me who has experienced what empowerment from a woman looks like, I say if it is something that is availed to you, go for it. I one time had a friend at work that looked out for me so much, so well. People actually thought we were relatives. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. Like someone will really look out for you, will motivate you, will celebrate each milestone you make at work, will real magnify even the small wins.
Yeah.
In boardrooms, when they are trash talking your performance, they'll root for you. And these are not things that are found just anywhere. You just have to cultivate and work on these relationships. Because let me tell you, they say that a woman that is scorned is like a devil. But so is a woman who is in love. When a woman loves you in a workplace, like woman to woman, I'm not talking about the romance. I'm talking about a woman who likes who you are and has accepted that this is my friend. My goodness, you'll be surprised the length that they will go to. When you find a woman in a workplace that motivates you, inspires you, mentors you, looks out for you, for performance, deliverables and what, please cultivate that relationship.
Female friendships also give you a sense of belonging, of this place where you go to and you feel at home. Because you're at work most of the time, then you're at home. You need anchor space where the environment is different, where you enjoy yourself, have conversations over anything and everything, and enjoy each other's company. So we are going to delve into how to cultivate and have meaningful friendships with our female friends. So one of the things that you should do to cultivate quality relationships is communicate regularly, like quality conversations of how you actually feel, like express yourself to your friends, and also communicate regularly. Me and my friends are in a WhatsApp group and we keep like talking and chatting about everything. And that keeps you connected, right? It keeps you communicating to each other. It keeps you connected and knowing where your friend is at. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I love to do. The WhatsApp groups. You are doing WhatsApp groups. What are your thoughts about it?
I'm actually not in any WhatsApp group.
You're not?
No, I don't.
But
That's because I post on my status all the time.
So your friends catch up.
Yes, they keep tabs on what I'm doing, and somehow because they react on the status, we keep on having conversations. I know at least what someone has done, if they are pregnant, if they've gotten a new job. I know what everyone is doing.
Okay, That's lovely.
Interesting.
Yeah, so if you cannot be in a WhatsApp group, there's always a way.
A way to communicate.
At
Yes.
least communicate regularly.
And it should be intentional because I know for a fact that some friendships, if one is not checking on the other, that's it.
They should beef.
Not yes,
They should
somehow.
beef and don't. You say like you've left me, like you no longer talk to me and stuff like that.
Yes.
And it's even you. It's your responsibility to communicate.
It's a two-way thing.
Yeah, so some people
So,
would rather you're the one who is always reaching out. So it's important that in communication, what I'm picking from this is, I mean, don't just leave your friend to be the one who is always checking on you, but you should also take time to initiate the communication with your friends, because that friend who regularly checks on everyone else, sometimes when they go quiet, you need to find out what's wrong with them, because probably, they're hurting or
Sometimes they need the ones that are not checked on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I say that
And
some people.
I'm also guilty, so
So when you're not in a group,
yeah.
like find a way, because I know some people don't actually like groups. Yeah, and but also I like to know some of my friends. If I don't post on my status,
They look for you.
they look for me. Even my mom actually knows. If I don't post on my status,
It is
there's
your way
a
of
problem.
wow.
It's them now to know what's up with this one. Because they know that I'm always updating. Yeah, one.
Yeah, and you also know your friends. Like know the kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Know how to relate best with them. And also that helps you to know, like, see the signs of whether or not they are withdrawn. Like now when you don't post on your status, there's a problem. And but for me, I don't post every day. So there's probably a different way that you can relate with me. You get. So we are all different. Know your friend and know how to communicate with them. That is effective.
True, absolutely. The other thing I like to do to maintain friendships is the support. Like, be supportive.
Yeah.
I know people who start businesses and their friends don't care to. For me, if I started a business, how to know that someone is supporting me? Post me on your status. Bantinde. Hey,
That's what you want.
Kuchipande, that's all.
But also,
I'm waiting.
communicate that to your friends.
They
that
should
is
know.
What you need. No, sometimes it's not obvious, Aisha, but to communicate what you want them to do for you. You get. You can't think that for me, they know I like this, I like this. They don't know. Just communicate and say that, guys, I would appreciate if you post for me this on your status. I would value that as your support to my business. You get? Because they might not know, and then you start hurting and say that this person doesn't support
They're not
me.
supporting.
Why?
My friend, if I see you posting businesses on your status and I start my own and you don't post, hi friend, you're in trouble. You have to be in trouble. Because the thing is, that is how I like to be supported. You might not buy a thing or two, because sometimes support is not monetary.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You might not support my business by buying, but I want you to be able to support. Maybe someone in your circle is actually going to buy, right?
Yeah.
So the support, but also celebrate my milestones. Yeah. Have I given birth? Celebrate. Have I gotten a new job? Celebrate, because the small wins actually, as small as they may seem to someone else, they could be big and meaningful to me and my life. So for you to show me that you actually are with me, you my tribe, celebrate. Have you seen those people that will not acknowledge anything that you do? I feel like that is not loving me loudly.
Love softly. Okay. I'm just saying that, like,
Know
we
your
are all
person.
different. Know your person, know your friends. Because now we know for you want to be loved loudly.
Yes.
It is a triplets birthday. Make noise.
That is
That's what that's
knowing
what you say,
the,
you get.
yes.
But then there are people who don't care about celebrating.
Then monetize.
No, but in all this, I've just been reminded about something. Are you guys familiar with the 5 love languages?
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
I
Explain context.
So I know most times people try to look at it in the aspect of like dating, relationships, marriage, but it's actually something that can be applied to even your children and even your
Yes.
friendships.
Yes.
So like Robina has said, understand your friends. Maybe this other friend is showing them off that they'll feel loved. But from that, I realized that to some friends, quality time is what they need. Yeah. So reach out to this friend, have a one-on-one meetup outside these general meetups that we have as a group of friends. Because in those groups, some of them might get lost because they feel like, I feel like when I'm having this one-on-one time with this friend is when I can easily open up. And so knowing your friends is very important, but then also having that quality time with your friends that they can all feel like, yes, have the group meetups, but then also try to have that one-on-one engagement with your friends.
I usually like to equate female friendships with romantic relationships. They are different, but
all
they
the
are
same
very
important.
similar.
Yeah.
Very, very similar. So, like you said, the 5 love languages. Know how your friend feels loved.
Yeah.
And do that, just that for them, But also these relationships are not devoid of conflict. Usually anything can cause conflict.
Yeah.
Just like a romantic relationship, this particular one, which even conflicts can happen, But how do we resolve such conflict? Of is it a full-blown fight? Is it a silent treatment? And that's how romantic relationships are.
Yeah.
But find a way of resolving conflict in a very, very, very respectful way.
Yeah.
Like how you give grace to your boyfriend, give grace to your friend.
And it's such a hard thing.
It is.
I've realized actually that most friendships, you see how we want to nurture our romantic relationships and treat them as if like glasses. Yeah, you treat your boyfriend, your husband as if he's a god on this earth. But then, why? But then your female friends, the ones that actually look out for you even more than your boyfriend or husband, you take them for granted, right? But let me tell you, I realized if you have a good friendship, right? They might even seem to be more, what would I say, more useful than your romantic relationship. Because these are the people that will know your lowest, the lowest of your lows, but also will celebrate your highest of your highest more than, because like I said, female friendships, they get the dramatic side of you. They will relate more than a male friendship or your husband. So I like that. I like that the languages.
The 5 love
Yes,
languages.
I love them
one
so
of
much.
those who doesn't. The other day I told you my son's love language is physical touch, and you're like, what?
Okay, because for children, I haven't gotten into so much because my kids
Work
are
in
still
progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually realize that they have a particular way they feel loved. Like my son, hugging, him sitting on you and all that stuff is how he feels loved. You tell him I love you, words of affirmation.
He will not.
He doesn't feel that.
Doesn't mean as much as a hug or like him touching you and being all over you. He feels more loved that way, and he enjoys it.
It's very important that we actually realize what it is that helps our friends realize that we are there for them, that, we value them as friends. And what you said about taking friends for granted, as we share these, we're not putting ourselves on a pedestal where we feel like, our lives are perfect. But you know how you plan meetups with friends and then you say, let's be here at a certain time, but those friends, that's why I say we're not putting ourselves on a pedestal because we're also guilty. Yeah, but taking each other for granted, like not valuing each other's time. And it's in my friends groups, it's one of the things that we're learning, that if we said let's meet at 3, I mean, try your best not to show up at 5 when 5 is when you're supposed to be leaving. Like, value this friendship the same way you would say value your job, that you try to make it there on time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and do you know these are the things that actually cause conflict?
Yeah,
in these friend groups? Because I've realized, like, you see the girl trips that people organize.
Yeah.
Do you know? And that makes me so mad. People take friendships for granted.
Yeah.
Someone organizes a trip in October, and then people start dropping off one by one, one by one. Before you know it, the group is not going for the trip anymore.
Or there's only 1 or 2 people left who are still willing to go.
Can you imagine? But would you do that to a romantic partner? Definitely no.
I think it gets harder when it's more than one party involved, because with the romantic partner, it's just you and that person. But whenever something involves like so many parties, then it becomes hard. Like,
Where is the commitment?
it's
know.
not
That
about
is the
us
taking
being
for granted I'm
committed.
talking about. Because if you have committed to love that way, that, you know, quality time is our thing. We are spending time together every Friday, every last Friday of the month. We go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
You have already blocked off that on your calendar.
But yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes life happens, Aisha, and I think we need to.
I know. The grace?
We need to give them like grace.
Yeah.
Me, I understand, because I've been those people who has planned to go for a trip and I ended up not going. And not because I don't want that, because some other commitments that are more pressing than that one came up. But also the thing is communicate.
Yeah,
Communicate way ahead of time that you want
What's going on?
Yeah.
that you won't be there immediately. You know that you can't make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, instead of committing and then dropping off along the way without a proper explanation of what transpired, because it hurts by either way. Like, you feel a certain type of way if this friend that you really wanted to be a part of this trip doesn't go. Yeah, but communicate at the end of the day.
But also don't be the friend that is always giving excuses. You're not. Oh, that's no.
But it's true,
Yeah. But also it gives me this other perspective of be considerate, right? Especially where you know that the different earnings in the friend group, right? Otherwise, you will be organizing dates in inexpensive places where you very well know that one of your friends is not going to show up.
Yeah. But it goes back to communication, yes. Because, and also how you do it matters, because you don't want to do it in a way that makes your friend feel like as if,
They are left out.
like, don't worry, come, we shall pay for you. Like, in a way of like, you know, exactly, not in a way that's demeaning, but make them feel like, you know what, we're doing this because we really want you to be part of this girl's trip, and we can't imagine this trip without you. So because we can't imagine that, we were thinking if you can contribute this much, the rest of us can, you know, also pull resources. And I mean, we've done this in my friends groups, and it helps. But you know, when you talked about communication still, I remember in the conversation we talked about ghosting in one of our episodes.
Yes, we did.
Ghosting for a relationship.
Yes,
now
but
it's for
when
friendships.
friend ghost, I mean, suddenly this friend stops talking to you. Like, you still continue trying to communicate to the person, and they just, you know, like, I feel like even in friendships, we shouldn't be those friends that just, you know,
Yeah, like,
I mean, if I've done something wrong to you, tell me so that I know what my mistake was, and then you can forgive me. Because how will I atone for something that I don't know I did? And then it also goes to like the thing of forgiving, because if we continue holding grudges, then we are losing out on friendships that could be so meaningful. Because my idea of friendship is not just for the friendship to end with me, but
generations.
Exactly. Like, for
Yes.
my friends to know that, oh, this is auntie so-and-so, this is auntie so-and-so's child. Like, your friends, your kids also become friends.
But on that issue of communicating, like if you wronged a friend, sometimes let me not say most, but sometimes people take such feedback negatively, and that contributes to someone just really keeping quiet and letting the friendship go.
Depends on
That's
how you
why I'm
have
saying-
communicated.
That's why I'm also saying that as the person who has wronged the other, listen actively.
Exactly.
And internalize that the other person actually wants to solve the problem. They do not want to wrong you in return. They're just trying to express how they felt when you did something that was wrong. Listen and actually take in the fact that they just want you to correct that, but not to wrong you in return.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes we are quick to say that, so you're saying I did this and that, you know, and then
So yeah.
exactly
To go on that
and
defense.
and being a victim instead of actually listening to you, like to listening to your friend and really knowing that I did this and it was wrong and apologize and then carry on with a friendship on a clean slate and better slate, you know.
Yeah. I hear you. I liked how you communicated about the respectfulness as you talking about the differences and the conflict in a friendship. It's important how you communicate. You know, people normally take offense when it comes from a place of you did this, you could have done this, you should do better.
Yeah.
The tone also matters.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to have a relationship, a friendship where respect is key. Because where respect is given, it's taken and returned. Yeah, respect is not a thing of manner. It doesn't fall from heaven. If it is given, and it should be earned really. So I like that people should not, you know, like want to come from a point of
Like condemning.
condemnation.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so that should be taken into perspective.
So it's essentially it should seek to reconcile as opposed to you did this to me,
To make
but
your point.
yes.
Yeah.
Rather
And the
let it
listening
seek to actually reconcile the friendship.
But also another way of cultivating a friendship is showing gratitude.
Yeah.
Like really, I like a grateful heart. You know, I like, for me, by the way, even the smallest of things, if you do something nice for me, I will say thank you at all times. Because I know what you think that is small, someone else has gotten it out of sweat. You know,
Yeah.
so a simple thank you goes a long way. Like, be thankful because I have a friend. I think they took it for granted that I was there with them in hospital while they were giving birth. But for me, it was a big deal because I had curfew at home. Yeah, I used to, at all times, I had to be at home by 10. But this is the first time I slept out of home to stay with someone in hospital as they were giving birth. They could have taken it for granted. But for me, after today, Chinula, they didn't say thank you. You see? And too bad I was a bad friend that never communicated that I needed a thank you.
But now you know better.
Yeah, now I know better. And I know that I should communicate.
That I wasn't happy with you.
Yes, you know, I thought you would say thank you. That I did that for you.
It's okay to want.
Like seriously,
Words of affirmation.
For me, I expect a thank you when I do something nice for you. Gratitude. Be thankful.
But it's just one of those simple virtues. You see, even our children, we teach them gratitude at an early age. Oh, please, sorry, and thank you. So gratitude it's not for a special kind of people. It's for everybody. Like, be grateful. Honestly. And it puts your heart in a good posture.
Yeah. But you know, we've said all these nice mushy things, but I think one of the things that I recently realized with one of my friend groups that we've started doing that we were not doing before, that we've now realized is actually very, very good and important is prayer. I mean, we used to meet, this month it's so-and-so's birthday, let's go meet here, eat out and all that. Let's do this nice fun thing. But, you know, when we started to pray together, it actually enabled us to be more open to one another and like say things we probably would have never said to each other before, like share some deep things, yeah? So prayer is one of the things that if you want, you know, your friendship to also like go to another level, it's one of the things that, you know, you should think of doing. And
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Like praying together has a special thing that it does to your relationship. I remember my mom had an African art piece at home that says that a family that prays together stays together. And for some reason, it's true. Because if you pray together, I don't know, there's a way you're connected at a different level. Yeah.
But also the spirituality aside, I feel like each time you make a prayer request and I put into consideration talking to God about you, there is a deeper connection that we are building.
Absolutely.
But also the fact that these prayer requests are brought onto the table. Do you know that people actually put in their innermost needs in those prayer requests? And if you're keen enough, those prayer requests will tell you that the weak point someone is
Exactly what someone is going through.
Yes. So I like the prayer bit.
It's true.
I like that it makes you stick together.
Yeah. But stay true to yourself when you are in these female friendships. Don't let someone else's personality seep into who you are, you know. Like, be yourself. If you're the fun-loving person, don't let someone who is not outgoing and all the exciting stuff dim your light. You get? Like, stay true to yourself.
But in your authenticity, don't forget, don't bring your bad manners in friendship. Haven't you seen those people? This is who I am.
Who I am, which is a bad manner.
They do you dirty and say, that is who I am.
We are talking to you people who have bad manners. And you're saying that's who you are. Change. Do
Yes.
Stay true to yourself means your personality. Like your build up.
Your nice character.
Nice characters.
Yes.
But not the bad ones you're struggling to let go and shed off.
True.
And then I think just to add more to that, like, you know, how sometimes in trying to fit in with certain groups, people start to do certain things. Maybe, for example, remember how you talked about your friends can't afford, but because you want to show that you have a certain lifestyle. So I think that's how I can even think about it. Like, and a good friendship should be one that allows you to be yourself. And if you know you can't maybe afford something, like, you speak openly to your friends, like, I would love to come, but I can't afford it. So
without expecting judgment.
Yes, without expecting judgment. So there should be room for you to stay true to yourself. And as the friendships grow deeper, it becomes easy for people to be more authentic and be their true self.
True,
But all these things that we have said do not come at once. It's a journey of growth and being open and vulnerable, and being willing to learn, being willing to be taught, you know. And when someone corrects you, take the criticism positively, irrespective of how it is presented. You can call out the way it's presented, but like, be open to learning and becoming a better friend, just the same way we are open to becoming better girlfriends and boyfriends for our friendships, so that we have a fulfilling and meaningful tribe. But at the end of the day,
because we all need it.
We do. We need a place to belong. Thank you so much for coming this far into this episode. If you're new here, don't forget to click the subscribe button. But if you're old here, again, stop this relationship. Let's officialize it. Subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know when we have posted, please click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. It allows you to get a notification when we upload an episode. Thank you so much for your support this far. We are on 200 subscribers. We are so grateful for your support. But also, tell us in the comment section. What's happening in your friendship groups? And give us also tips. Your tips that maybe we haven't shared here on how to maintain and cultivate very meaningful friendships. Thank you so much again. And see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.